Wild Cherry, play that funky music. And there's two guitar parts. This is a CVT guitar lesson for Ray. And hope the volume worked out right on it. I've got my amp turned down pretty low. Almost hard for me to hear it from where I'm standing. So I wanted to give you a little bit of each of the parts that are going on. The main hook obviously being section 1 at 1 second in with the but we got, you know, a little bit of all the parts that are happening for the most part. Open E twice. On the A string goes 7, 5, 7. So we have 5E, pick, hammer onto the 7th fret, and then 5, 7A. What I'm gravitating towards is up, down on that. But as long as it's alternate, you're going to be good. That's 20 times the way I set it up. That's once. You're going to go 20 times. Leading into section 2 at 54 seconds. Real funky here. Percussive, string mutes. And he's using what's called the 9 chord. This is an E9. And it's 7A middle, 6D index. And with your 3rd finger you got to bar the last 3 strings. First time I learned this back in the 90s, it was tough for me. You don't find this stuff in rock. Keeping this flat, I remember it gave me trouble. You got to make sure you hear all 5. Mute string 6 with the middle finger. And we're going to go like this. There's 16th notes. You're going to go mute, so just relieve the pressure and go. And then press down the E9 chord and go down up. That's going to go 16 times. That's 1. So it passes real quick. It's probably easier to feel it and see what the change is. If you have to count it, it's in your tabs to count. Coming out of the 16 times, you'll do the fret hand muting down up, and then E9, F9, and F sharp 9. They're the same shapes. That's the same chord we've been doing. Move it up a half step and another half step. So it finishes section 2 with this. And it walks right up to a G9. And this is section 3 at 103. And here's the progression. Funk's really like one of my favorite styles. Rock, metal, and funk. And sometimes the guitar just seems like it's kicking back, but it doesn't mean it's easy. This is very percussive and rhythmic. And so what you want to do, they're not consistent with that every time, but they're in the pocket, they're in the groove. This is the main gist of that rhythm. Down, up, over the G9 chord, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10. Fret hand mute, down, up. So we have passes quick. And then press the chord down and go down, down, up. So it's, and then fret hand mute down, up. Move this chord up to an A9. Root is on the 12th fret, 12, 11, 12, 12, 12. And move it back to A flat 9, just one fret. So slow, it's going to sound like this. Or we're supposed to be on 10th fret. Okay, so we have. Let's do it again. Now lift those chords too so they don't ring. So you wouldn't want to go. They're real staccato, in and out. 5 times into this. Definitely chords you will not find in rock. 5A, 6D, 5G, 6B. Okay, the percussiveness on this is similar to the last one. So you'll go down, up, down, up, down, up, mute. That gives you, same way we started the last one. Then the chord down, mute, up, chord down, up, down, up. Here it is slow. Okay. 3 A's is hard to hear, but this is what he's doing. 3A, 2D, 3G, 3B, and open E. And you'll do straight 16th notes for a measure. 16 times alternate strumming. And just leave the pinky, scoot the other 3 fingers back to 2, 1, 2. And do the same thing. So it's into section 4. Now section 4 can also be, you can substitute section 1 over it, but it's interchangeable is what I'm getting at. But this is really cool. I would learn this. You'll go E9 from the A string down, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7. You'll go down, up, down on the mute. The mute is down, up, down. So, and then move it back a half step. It's E flat 9, right back to E9. So it's mute down and move up to 9, up, mute down, up, move it back to 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, which is a F9. And that's the groove for that. It goes 4 times, 4th time no star. So. So, oops. Dang it. Fourth one. You don't do the, you're going to come in with the solo, so we can go to the distortion here. 12D, hammer to 14, and then down, up, 12, 14, G. Back to 12G, 15B bend, vibrato, and bring it back down. He's using a wah-wah pedal, which mine's tucked away in the studio, but that's how he's getting that real trebly sound. 12B, 15E bend, release, bend, and then release again. So it's, oops, and then pick again, bend, release. 12, 15, EB, up, down, back to the 12, and then unison bend, 12E, 15B, I'd back that with the middle finger. You're going to bend the B string a whole step. Vibrato, 15, 12, 15 on the B, down, up, down, bend, vibrato. 12, 15, 12, 15, EB, EB, bend the last 15. Or no vibrato there. 15E, and it's a hold. I think I'm going to have to raise my bridge a little bit. And then do 3 more of those. And then this one goes. 15B bend, 15-12, this is alternate picked right here. On the G, 15-14-12. 14D. Shift that third finger to 14GB. Back up to 14D. So you don't really have to lift, just flatten it, right? So you got 12G and B, bar, and barely bend it, like a quarter bend. And then 14D, or 12G up, down, up. So 15B, bend, release, 12B, 15E, bend, vibrato, and that's the 139 timestamp. Hey, I wasn't really calling out your timestamps, man, but you'll have them in your tabs. 142 timestamp, it's 12, 15, 12E, down, up, down. 17 on the E, bend, again, bend, release. 15E, half step bend, so it's 17, 15, 17, B, E, B, down, up, down. And he ends it with 15B, bar the last two strings, pick the B, hammer to 17, and then hit the 15E, do that 3 times. 17E, bend, release, 15E, up, 17B, down, vibrato, slide. Now that, you'll see parentheses in that 17B, Ray. The reason I put that on there is that's the downbeat. So if you're playing along, you know, live time, real time, you'd probably want to not play that 17. You'd go and then jump into the next part, which is page 4, which are repeats. You'll see the timestamp 146. Oh, go back to the clean channel. You'll see section 1 or section 4. They're interchangeable because it's 2 guitar players' parts, and they're both cool, man. So you gotta kind of mess with them, you know, see what you like. So, you know, 1 being the, or anyways, you can choose. The only new part you'll see, you're going to go through a series of repeats at the 230 timestamp, but section 5 they fade out with this. It's just another percussive rhythm off the G9. 10A, 9G, barred 10th fret on the G, B, and E. And you'll recognize the strum for the most part. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Last 2 down ups are mutes. Back to the chord, down, down, up. Mute, down, up. So, and then go down, up on the chord, and then stop. Do that 3 times. So it's, and then the 4th time go. So you'll start it the same, up to that mute, but then go A9 to A flat 9, 12, 11, 3 12s, and then back a half step. And it just fades out, but you get a full time through on that, you know. Oops. Alright, good stuff. If you struggle on it, don't worry, brother. Funk's a whole different beast, man. Just the way, I mean, it's, don't think so dominant with it. Try to fall into the pocket in the groove. Alright, so until next time, see ya.